This is how to unfuck your life. And you're gonna learn through me, so it's gonna be very exciting. And I was thinking about this as I was driving alone in silence today. I raw dogged it, no YouTube, no Spotify, none of that. And I was just thinking, like, the life that I'm living now, how can I kind of like unfuck it? You know, how can I be where I want to be and stop being stuck here? And so we're gonna go through a little exercise, okay? We're gonna go through a little exercise. And the first thing you have to understand is clarity, right? So your mind might look like this right now, right? The first step, like my mentor always told me, is to have a little clarity, right? So that means figuring out, like through all this chaos, what exactly you want. And for me, it's very simple. It's very simple, okay? We're gonna call it, we're gonna say, I want to be a millionaire, okay? I want to be a millionaire. And I'm sure you probably want to too. Or maybe not, but you probably do. But that's the first step. Know where you want to go, who you want to be. In my case, I want to be Millionaire Pete, okay? And then all we gotta do is list everything about Millionaire Pete that needs to be true, or that is true about Millionaire Pete, right? Like, what type of person is he? What does he do on a daily basis, right? And how does he act? What does he wear? Stuff like that. And then on the other side, we also need to pull out the curtains from all this chaos, right? And we really need to understand where you are right now, what your current self is right now, and then from that, find the gap between that and then ultimately bridge it together. And when you bridge where you currently are and who you want to be, then you will become who you want to be. It's that simple. It's really that simple. And what's crazy is that just with a snap of a finger, you can achieve that merging and become your millionaire self today. Today. And here's what I mean by that, okay? All right, this is Professor Pete, okay? Sorry, my back is turned against the class today. Let me just erase this real quick. I should have thought this out instead of just writing how to unfuck your life, but bear with me. Okay, here we are, okay? So the first thing we have is millionaire. We're gonna call it MP, okay? That's a really ugly MP. This is Millionaire Pete, and this is current Pete, okay? Okay. And this is kind of the exercise that I was going through when I was driving today, okay? So, current Pete, oh, that is so ugly. Apologies. Current Pete, right? Actually, let's start with Millionaire Pete, right? What are his current actions, right? Actually, why don't we do the opposite? How about current Pete? What is going on with current Pete, right? So, current Pete right now, inconsistent. Super inconsistent. That's no bueno, right? What else? Maybe sleeps late. Sleeps late. Wakes up early. Or wakes up late. Wakes up late. And usually, no sleep. Okay? What else? He gets distracted. Distracted easily. Is a yes man. Yes man. No control. Or, no control over emotions and desires. Okay? And you kind of get the point here, right? There's a lot of stuff. But how about Millionaire Pete? Like, what does a Millionaire Pete look like? Ooh, this is where it gets spicy. Like, and I want you to kind of do this exercise along with me, because I think it's super important, right? Like, knowing crystal clear exactly who you want to be. Okay? So, or rather, who you need to be, right? So, Millionaire Pete, what does that look like? It looks like focused. Right? And what that means is that I'm focused on what matters most. The problem that I see with my current self right now is that I really get distracted easily, whether it be a brand new course I can invest money in, whether it be spending time with friends and family, eating out, right? And neglecting my work as a result, and eating out at expensive places I can't even afford, right? So this one is money control, right? Money conscious, rather, right? Right? And this version of myself also carries myself in a very calm, but also energetic. I'm never gonna lose that spark, right? manner. So, right, very, very calm and energetic manner, right? And very confident. Confident. This is something that I've really lacked with, or struggled with, which is my confidence, especially when it comes to clients and potential prospects. And so this version of myself is like, I know my shit. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I need to do, and I do it. Okay? So another thing is a man of my word. Man of my word, right? And these are all great things. But the thing that kind of sets the foundation for that is my health. Right? So if I'm eating junk food all the time, if I'm eating high carbs, high sugars, then my energy and my mood is gonna go zoo. Right? Same with my sleep. So therefore, 8 hours sleep, right? Hours sleep. And then also, on top of that, clean, low carb, high protein diet. And you may be thinking like, Peter, like, is that important? Yes. Diet is super important. Now you may be asking like, Peter, but like, there are so many successful people out there, right, that eat like shit but are still successful. Okay, but think about this. Imagine how much more successful they'd be if they had more energy, more clarity, and more focus as a result of them sleeping better and also eating better. And also, side note, right? What separates you from the person you want to be? Like, what separates a millionaire from someone that isn't? It's simply the decisions they make on a daily basis. And what has the most impact on your decision-making ability? It is going to be your sleep and your diet, right? Which is why this right here, starred, that sets the foundation for everything. Everything. Okay? And then, so that's kind of what Millionaire Pete looks like. Like, character trait-wise, he's very wise. No, he thinks in second-order consequences, okay? Now, you might be wondering, like, what is a second-order consequence? A second-order consequence are the consequences following the first consequence of that action that you took. For example, let's say I ate a bag of chips, okay? That's my action. My first-order consequence would be, ooh, tasty. It tastes really delicious. I feel really good. But the second order consequence is that starts to become a habit. You start to eat chips another time. Third order consequence, it becomes a part of your daily routine and then your lifestyle. Fourth order consequence, you get really fat and unhealthy because if you're eating a lot of potato chips, chances are you're eating other processed food and junk. And what's the fifth order consequence? You might develop diseases, yikes. Sixth order consequence, you're probably gonna die early. And you're not gonna be there for your grandkids, for special moments, you're not gonna live long, right? So the idea is to look beyond the first consequence. Look at the second, third, fourth, fifth. Look into the future, because most of the time, the actions that have great consequences as you go further down in time, right? The better the action is. For example, working out, you might feel like shit, right? During the workout, you might feel like you're in so much pain, like your muscles are burning, you're out of breath, your heart is beating out of the chest and it hurts. The second order consequence is, your muscles are really, really sore the next day, you feel tired, fatigued. But once you keep going down the line, and that's what second order consequences are. It's the ripple effect of consequences after the first, right? You'll start to notice that, like, once you kind of tread that little yarn, you'll be like, damn, my body's feeling better. I'm feeling better, feeling great actually. My mind is sharper. I have more energy, right? So this is super duper important, right? What's it called? And I think that the biggest thing with this Millionaire Pete, right, compared to this Millionaire Pete, is honestly this. It's focused. Because Millionaire Pete knows what's important. And he knows that actually there's a whole lot to go over, right? But he knows that with focus, he can achieve anything and everything he wants, right? And I think the problem with my current self right now is I'm telling myself, like, like I need to go out with my girlfriend. I need to go out with my family. I need to spend time with my friends and my family. And work is bad. At least that's the conflict, right? My inner child is like, because when I was growing up, for some context, when I was growing up, work for me was perceived to be very bad because my parents fought a lot because my dad was always working, workaholic. My mom hated that, and it kind of ruptured the family. Caused a lot of fights, a lot of yelling, a lot of slamming of tables, slamming of doors, punching of walls, stuff like that. And that really left a mark on me. And the problem is, like, when I got older, I wanted to become successful, make money, so that I could make sure that that stuff never happens again, because I wouldn't have to work once I made that amount of money. But you can see that's kind of a paradox, right? In order to achieve that amount of financial freedom, I need to work a lot, right? So it's in conflict with my inner child. So Millionaire Pete, right, with his focus, he knows, and he's built a relationship with his inner child, and he's talked to him, and he lets his inner child know that, we're still intentionally spending time with our family and friends and our loved ones. We're making sure that they're taken care of. But if we don't work, then we won't be able to provide for them, and we won't be able to spend time with them as much as we'd like to. We wouldn't have that freedom. And so we're not going to be like our mom or like our dad, right? Where we just work and we don't spend our time with our loved ones. And we're also going to find a partner that's not like our mom and that appreciates that and lets us flourish. So there's not going to be that conflict there. So that's what Millionaire Pete has established with his inner child, and that focus. And because of that, he is able to focus like a fucking laser beam, like lasering through fucking walls, right? And so that's what that really is. And that's really the difference between the current self and the millionaire version of myself. And actually, let me just check to see if it's still rolling, just in case. Oh, beautiful, it's still rolling. And so this concept right here of knowing where you currently stand and where you need to be, just that awareness is going to allow you to succeed. Because now you can just look at your current self and be like, fuck that shit. I want to be this. And I am going to be this starting fucking now. My snap. Now. Okay, there we go, right? And now this, we can just kind of erase this, right? So that we're only left with this. So let's go a little while. Now we can focus on this. And the beautiful thing is, you have this version of yourself that you've listed the attributes, you've listed their habits, you've listed their traits and whatnot, what they look like physically, what their daily life looks like. Well, that's a little awkward. My camera ran out of storage, but do not fear, we are going to go right back into it. So we listed these traits that our future self or that our current self wants to be. Millionaire you, Millionaire Pete. But the cool thing is, like with that snap earlier, you already are that person, or at least I am already this person. And how do I know this? This is going to sound really weird, okay? But I realized that the voice that is verbally spouting out words right now, the words that you are hearing, this voice, whatever consciousness is behind delivering this voice, it's already a millionaire. That person, that Pete, is already a millionaire. Like, this is like millionaire Coach Pete, Coach Millionaire Pete. And what's crazy is that this Pete is wise. He is, he knows what he needs to do. He's logical. He's not emotional. And he's just great at giving advice. And this Coach Pete, he shows up to his friends, for his family, for his clients, for his team members, for his partner, right? When giving advice, he gives fucking great advice, right? But what's crazy is that he never gives himself advice. Like, this voice that you're hearing, I never give this to myself for whatever reason. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's crazy, because if I just let this voice speak more often, if I allow myself to be coached by this Millionaire Pete voice right here, whatever this is, I'm already a millionaire. Like, I have all the skills, I have all the traits, I have all the wisdom, I have all the connections, I have all the resources to become a millionaire. It's only a matter of time. And so it's really, really weird, right? But after today, it's just like, and I'm him. I'm literally him. That's crazy, right? And I think this was only able to happen. This really realization was only able to happen because I gave myself the time and the space to think alone. While I was driving my car today, for the first time in so long, I had no music, I had no YouTube videos playing, no one calling me, I wasn't texting anybody. I was just talking to myself. I literally voice audio and started talking to myself. And that's when I realized the power of being able to coach myself. Because chances are you have all the knowledge you need to become successful. And I truly believe that. And so now I'm not going to be doom scrolling on Instagram. I'm not going to be doom scrolling on YouTube because I already know what I need to know. And if I want to actively search for knowledge, then I will. If I actively want to learn from Sam Ovens and see what new stuff I might learn, I'll go to him. If I want to learn something about biomechanics, about psychology, then I'll search for it. But this is truly the biggest change. And so if you want to unfuck your life, right, to kind of round it all off, know what you want, know who you want to be, right? And for example, Millionaire Pete, right, is shredded. He has broad shoulders, toned chest, and he is an athlete. He can run an Ironman, right? He has run an Ironman. And he eats the same every day, delicious whole foods, and he's just energized. He gets a lot of sleep in. He's fucking laser, like ton of energy, right? And he's also focused. He knows what's most important, and he focuses on that mission, that purpose, and he has a strong why to support it. Like I believe it was a philosopher or someone. They said that a man with a strong why can bear any how, and I think that's totally true for Millionaire Pete, right? And he's calm, yet he has energy bubbling inside of him, right? And it's inspirational and it's infectious energy, infectious inspiration. And Millionaire Pete also talks to millions of people online via his camera, right? To you, talks to millions of people just like you. And he also talks and inspires people on sold out stages, right? That is Millionaire Pete. He's confident. He's a man of his word. Never will you see him going back on his word. And he's just a wise guy. And he thinks in second order consequences. So he looks beyond the first, like what happens after the first action, but he looks beyond that. And he can see what happens and makes decisions accordingly. He thinks long term, and he looks into the future when making decisions. That is Millionaire Pete. And he says no to anything that's not regarding his focus. Okay? So that's know who you want to be. And then compare that with who you are right now. Right? Or if you currently are your millionaire self, who you were, right? And any traces of that person, inconsistent, lack of sleep, addicted to video games, Pornhub, what else? YouTube videos, doom scrolling. Erase that shit off of the face of the planet. Maybe bad spending habits, going out too much, partying too much. Erase that shit. That is no more. That you is no more. This is the new you. And like I said, like once you know that, once you can erase this and only focus on this, once you truly believe that you are that guy or that girl, he or she who can, then your beliefs turn into actions, right? I don't think I wrote it over here. Yeah, let me write it out over here because I don't think I did, right? For example, right? The belief, right? Belief. Oh, geez, I spelled that wrong. Sorry, bad handwriting. I blame my handwriting, right? Okay, but look, belief, right, turns into action. And we know this because would you go to church every Sunday if you weren't religious? No. Your belief in God is what makes you, or in this case me, go to church every Sunday, right? So, turns into action, turns into feedback. This is super important, guys. Feedback, right, turns into belief. So, the action of going to church makes you, that feedback is, wow, I really am religious, right? And that turns into belief that, okay, I am religious, right? And another beautiful example is maybe sleeping every night at 9 p.m., right? The belief is I am a person that is consistent. And my action is I sleep at 9 p.m. one night. The feedback the next day is, wow, like I woke up at 6 a.m. and I actually did it. Like I am a man of my word. I am consistent, right? And that feeds back into I am consistent, right? So every belief that you have, starting with these beliefs, turns into action, and action, right, turns into feedback, which then reinforces the belief, and it's a cycle. But caveat, the same can go if it's negative belief into negative action, into negative feedback loop, into a strengthened negative belief. Okay? And once you do this enough times for this millionaire version of yourself, in this case, Millionaire Pete, then you will, and you are Millionaire Pete. You are Millionaire you. It's just a matter of doing it. And it's just a matter of time. For whatever fucking reason, guys, this is kind of creeping me out. This is like kind of like, ugh. But I genuinely believe I am a millionaire. Like this is the first time, like shits and giggles aside, like for real, like I genuinely feel like a millionaire, stuck in the body of a 21-year-old in this current situation. But I know exactly what I need to do to become a millionaire, or rather to obtain that wealth and fulfill my destiny to become a millionaire. It's kind of like, imagine if a millionaire, like for whatever reason, was reincarnated but kept all his memories and all his skills, all his traits, all his attributes, but he was just literally just like a baby, right? Or rather, he was transported into a body of a 21-year-old. Like he might not have any resources, but he has all the skills, all the beliefs, all the habits, all the traits to gain that millions of dollars. It's just a matter of hard work and a matter of time. And that's who I believe I am right now. I believe I am a millionaire stuck in this body, stuck in this situation, but I will, with work and with time, become that millionaire version of myself. And I know that you will too. So to kind of wrap it all up, full circle, right? Number one, have clarity. What do you want? Who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? And what type of person is required to achieve that? Millionaire you, Millionaire Pete. Number two, see who are you currently? What traits do you have? What actions do you do? What habits do you do? And contrast it with the person you want to become, right? Once you make that comparison, yeah, whatever. Right? Just erase that shit. Erase that old self of yours. Now adopt this new identity. And then take actions based on those beliefs, receive feedback, and believe even further that you are a millionaire. And then with work and with time, you will become a millionaire and unfuck your life. But this is kind of like the, let me make sure my phone hasn't died. Oh, nice. But this is kind of the thought process behind me. It's so crazy, guys. Like genuinely, like yes, there's AI nowadays, there's Google, there's YouTube videos, there's podcasts. But the human mind is so complex, it's unbelievable. Like there's a conscious mind, but then there's also the unconscious mind. And the unconscious mind especially, even just the conscious mind alone, it's nothing can fucking compare, right? We have survived like thousands and thousands of years worth of evolution and whatnot, right? Survival. Just think about the unconscious mind. Right? Things we don't even know, but nature just programmed us to be. Right? God made us to be. Imagine the power that harnesses your unconscious and conscious, and imagine if you actually spend time with that part of yourself, as opposed to all the junk and all the noise. Like our brain is already the best AI, the best supercomputer there is. So stop relying on ChatGPT, Claude AI, Perplexity to do the heavy lifting for you. Make your brain work and actually think for yourself. You see, I genuinely think that's a problem that society has nowadays. It's stripping the ability of others to actually think for themselves. They're basically making them sheep. Think of the school system. Think of the types of foods that are super popular now. Just processed, high sugar, high carb foods that are highly addictive and are causing people to be highly reliant on it, right? And all the stuff on social media that is just propaganda. Now just take a step back for a moment and use your brain. Like actually use it. Not in a derogatory type of way, like a, right? But like use it because it's a gift that you have, your brain. That's a superpower, right? So even though I may be in $16,000 of debt, right? 28% APR, and just like I drive a 2006 Toyota Sienna that has my left front bumper is chipped off, and I don't even have an airbag. I live with my parents. I can't even pay for nice dinners for my girlfriend without being scared about if I can even afford it, right? Or worrying about, oh, can I make the next payments, or paying for my employees, right? Despite all of that, I know that I am him. I am literally Millionaire Pete, right? And I'm going to prove it to you guys. Like this video right here, have I unfucked my life yet? Yes, because I am he who can and he who will and he who is, right? So with that being said, I hope this was helpful. I know it's not one of my usual plogs, and by any means, it's not like any normal type of video you'd see on YouTube. But I really hope this helped. I know it's helped tremendously for me because now I'm gonna go in there swinging, and just constantly remind yourself like you are millionaire you, and you think not only first order consequence but second, third, fourth, and fifth, and you are laser focused, and you use the greatest gift and also weapon known to mankind, known to the universe. That's our brain, and also our relationship with God. But that's pretty much it for today. This is PLOG V1.36. PLOG out. Peace. See you guys tomorrow.